Welcome back to Channel Friends, here with another video. And today I just want to kind of give you a casual update on my businesses, and make sure to stay all the way until the end, because there I'm going to reveal what business idea I'm going to implement, even the name of it. I'll let you choose which one you prefer, as well as show you some teasers of the look and feel of the brand. And yeah, I think it will be interesting. If you've been watching my channel before, you know that I used to be living the corporate world. Corporate grind was 15 years working in the hospitality industry, the last almost 8 years running luxury 5-star hotels as a general manager. But eventually, end of 23, I took the decision, life is too short. I want to find out what's on the other side, and never looked back since. I absolutely love it. The time freedom and location freedom it gives me, absolutely incredible. So I'm really grateful for this. But at the same time, obviously, it has its own set of challenges. And I think really one of the biggest challenges that's going to face all of us, whether you're employed, unemployed, well, then maybe not so much, or a business owner, there's no way around it. It's AI. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love AI. And right now, I'm basically running my two businesses through AI, which I really love, and it helps me a lot. And it's amazing, right? Probably you watching are using AI as well, and we love it. However, I'll come to this in a moment. I think it also poses quite a bit of challenges. So right now, while I'm running my two businesses, which are mostly, of course, the YouTube channel side of things, which I have, and then my stockbroker comparison website, Match My Broker, which I launched a couple of months ago. Now, both of those are going well. I'm really happy, especially Match My Broker has been really, doing really well. I'm really happy with the development over there. So I will continue to work on that, as well as my YouTube channel. Now, on YouTube right now, I kind of cut down a little bit. I used to do 3 videos a week, but I realized it was just a lot of work going into that. And I did not really then find the time and the mental clarity to focus on my other business and other things in life, right? I mean, there's also things outside of work. So I think for now, especially in summer, generally people don't watch that much YouTube anyway. I will cut down now to 2 since I'm back in Europe, becoming a father also in a couple of months. So it's anyways going to get more busy with the personal life over there. So I think 2 videos, quite a bit to do actually. A lot of people struggle with 1. So I think 2 is fair. Hopefully those will also be insightful and beneficial for you guys. And for me, it's just more manageable. For now, I'm thinking to do Thursday and Sunday, maybe Wednesday and Sunday. So I'll play it out. Let me know if you have any favorites. But yeah, probably those 2 days. And then we'll see. Maybe in the future, I'll go back to 3. Maybe I'll stick with 2. We'll see. But it definitely takes a lot of time to, come up with the idea, to film it, to edit. So I want to kind of keep it manageable. Now, the second business, obviously, that I started a couple of months ago is Match My Broker, which is a stockbroker comparison website. And, that's also obviously going really well right now. It's very much SEO driven, right? When people look up, for the best stockbrokers or whatever, hopefully they find my website, they go on the article, they read it, they get some value out of it, they click a link to open a broker, and then obviously it's an affiliate model, similar to YouTube. So basically it's a win-win-win, right? They usually get a discount with my link, the broker gets a new client, and I do get affiliate income from that. So really, I like that business model because nobody has to pay extra, there is nobody being penalized, it's really win-win-win, and I love it. Having said that, at the same time, as much as I'm an AI fan, I absolutely love it, and I use all different tools. Let's be honest, I just listened to Sam Altman's recent speech where he outlined his roadmap. And again, maybe from time to time he's a little bit off by, a couple of months or years. But generally, I think we can all agree the pace of the development in AI is just crazy fast. And instead of just exponential growth, right, it almost looks like a straight line up. It's just so crazy. It's so hard, even for me, who is kind of in the space, to keep up with the latest models, what to use, the new features. So it's super, super fast. So obviously everybody kind of agrees that next year we're going to have, in 2026, agentic AI. Basically, you tell them a task and they can then connect through all your different services, and they check your emails, they can make a booking, and it's all connected, right? They can do all of these things, which will be amazing, right? I mean, it will take care of so many things. So I think that's really not far away. Then we move to AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, which he indicated around 2028. So not that long to go. And that basically can keep up with any human and in most regards actually outperform it across all different niches, right? Not in one specific task, but from writing, coding, all these things. So that's not far away. When you see the growth already where we came from, like 2 years ago, you asked ChatGPT a question or to write something, it was useless. Today, literally, it writes better than pretty much most people I know of. Now that's 2028. In 2032, I believe he said, I might be wrong with the year 1 or 2 as said, but it's coming. Nevertheless, it's on the roadmap. We're going to have super intelligence. So that's basically going to outperform all human intelligence combined and it will still be smarter. So at that point, you ask yourself the question, what are we really adding, right? And I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of saying, what's right or wrong, what's the way forward. And, I know people always say, well, when the tractor came, we still managed to find new jobs for us to do. And I get it, right? And again, I'm an optimist. I also see it positive. But when it comes to intelligence outperformance, that's a different ballgame, right? Here we talk about efficiency or physical labor task. So that makes sense. But if we outperformed in intelligence, because in the past we're always the most intelligent species in the world, well, that's a different story. Now, when I look at that, right, and also I look at AI image generation, video generation, it's becoming so good that I think eventually it will really, really put pressure on pretty much any industry. I mean, I cannot think of any industry right now that is not under pressure from AI, right? Very few, maybe. I mean, obviously, there are some potentially, but even things when we said in hospitality, you'll always need a maid to clean the rooms. Well, to be honest, not really, because I've seen already in China robots that are able to analyze the room with AI and then using humanoid robots that have really fine motoric skill. They can pick up things, they can pick up a cloth and they can clean that. So you can imagine if that rolls out to more countries, they get better with time, right? The first car was useless compared to the cars today. So that's a natural evolution. So definitely that's going to be under pressure. And so is, marketing in all different industries. And of course, that also includes me, right? Because the YouTube channel, I love it. It's great. And, it makes me money and gives me the freedom. But well, already now people are watching AI generated content. Right now, people say, I don't like AI generated content. But guess what? If most of the content, because obviously you can really scale it up, is generated by AI, eventually you might not even be able to differentiate and you might as well just watch it, right? And you see that already now that some creators replicate themselves using AI, just feed it the script, and then the AI, after taking the image and so forth, can replicate that. And you would really struggle to see the difference. And that's right now. Imagine 2-3 years, you would definitely not be able to tell the difference. Unless obviously, you have to indicate that it is AI generated, which more and more social media platforms do require, which I think is a good thing. You need to know at least if it is AI generated or not. But so basically, I see quite a bit of pressure from that side in the future because obviously, why would anyone watch me here sitting like that when they could watch their own favorite creator talk about investing, right? You could say, I want Mr. Beast to explain me what is compound interest. And boom, you could basically have him sit there, his avatar, and explain you that instead of watching in my face, right? Now, some of you may appreciate my face, which I appreciate in return. But basically, you could then use my avatar to explain you what is, Minecraft all about or whatever, right? So I think that is going to happen. So it might not be immediate, but it will eventually put pressure on a lot of creators because it becomes almost commoditized, right? All these UGC creators and so on that are basically making content for other brands and then sell that, I think they're also going to have a tough time. So that's one thing I look at critically. Second thing is my website, Mesh My Broker. Right now, as I said, I'm really happy with it. It's giving me a good income. I still see a lot of potential there that I can improve. However, as you probably noticed yourself, you've been on Google recently, or most likely you search directly in ChatGPT, but even on Google, right? If you still use Google, more and more they're pushing now AI mode. That's already rolled out in the US heavily. You can see that more and more coming to Europe, where you don't even see search results anymore, right? All these different blue links that we had in the past where you choose what to open, you're just going to get an answer from Google and that's it, right? And that will have major consequences for websites that previously got a lot of their traffic organically through search engines, which my page is predominantly getting, and many other pages. In fact, I'm checking, competitors or also other big companies where I know they get mostly Google search traffic. Honestly, over the last few months, it's only one direction. I haven't seen really many websites, established strong websites that have grown their traffic, except for ChatGPT and the likes. But everybody else is definitely suffering from search traffic. And that will have a consequence, right? Because if less people come to your website, less people click on your links, and that means less revenue for the business. That's just a matter of the fact. So, I critically look at that. So at the same time, I'm already preparing myself for AI search, so to rank well in search. But I don't know about you, but to be honest, when I get an answer from ChatGPT, I usually just take the answer and move on, right? I hardly ever click all the sources and so forth. And I think most people don't. So they get the answer, they get the result, and that's it, right? So I could even see in the future how ChatGPT or other websites, they might actually completely keep that traffic and maybe have their own sort of referral program where they get the cut. So instead of me as an affiliate getting the affiliate income or somebody else, they might keep it, right? So I could see such a scenario. So I have to be prepared to that. And that's why I'm really thinking that AI is going to kill a lot of businesses in the future, for better or for worse, right? Again, maybe it will create some new kind of business ventures, but we have to be prepared for that. That's just the reality. So I don't have the solution right now. However, one thing I'm doing to diversify, because as I always preach on my channel here, all about diversification. I don't know the future. You don't know the future. Nobody really does. But I can hedge my risks and diversify. So I'm not doubling down only on those two businesses. And that's why I thought, contrary to my love for digital businesses, because they allow me to work from anywhere in the world, anytime I wish, I actually came to the conclusion, or at least, the idea, and I want to make it a reality, to start a physical business. I know it's kind of weird, right? With all my love for digital, but I think it's actually a good time because I see potentially less disruption for a good physical business or physical good, if you have that, than maybe with the digital business, where literally in the future you can go on any ChatGPT or any of the good leading AIs, put in the prompt, have a website, create an app, and boom, go to market. You can do that overnight, literally, right? So I think the barrier to entry will get less and less. While with a product, of course, it will also get faster and easier, but still, you need capital, you need inventory, you need supply chains and so forth. So I'm trying that. Again, it might be a failure. I'm open to that, to learn. If it is a failure, it's a learning lesson. But I want to try it out. I always wanted to have a product, but now I think it's a good time to kind of do that. So that's why I want to share with you already, as I'm always very transparent with my portfolio and all the things I do. Also kind of a glimpse into what I'm planning to do. And I actually would really love your feedback. Let me know in the comments down below or send me a DM on Instagram. I'd really, really appreciate to hear from you. Please do, because right now I'm sort of in the planning phase and, finding the name and really, sort of finalizing the product offering. And then obviously I need to go to the manufacturer, start the packaging and so on. So right now I'm still sort of forming everything. So your input will be truly appreciated. As you know, I'm really valuing my health and exercise, like above all. Even above my family. I know it sounds really selfish and bad, but if I'm not healthy, I can't be there for my family, right? So for me, it's super important. That's why I spend time exercising. I have supplements to look after me. I eat well. I sleep well. And, I recently started High Rocks to compete in there, even though I'm soon turning 40. But I really like this competition aspect of things. And while I started all these things, running and exercising, I realized I took obviously a couple of supplements, like vitamin D or zinc or magnesium. And one supplement I kept on coming back to is electrolytes. Now, you might have heard about electrolytes because they've been becoming more popular in recent times, like Element and Liquid IV from the US. They're quite strong over there. It basically helps you to hydrate better. So the hydration market is becoming more and more popular. And why I like it? Because first of all, I take myself, at least once a day in the morning first thing, or 2 or 3 times a day, even if I sweat a lot. It helps me to really rehydrate and get less cramps and so forth. And it's a product category that appeals not only to sports people, but in general, it can be really beneficial for you. I think it's a sticky product, right? Because ideally, you want to be using it on a daily basis, not something that you use once a week or once a month, but really on a regular basis. And I like that, right? Plus, what is really cool about that, there's only one size, right? You don't have a small, medium, large, and there aren't really any refunds, So as much as I thought about having, kind of active wear brand, I always thought it would be cool. But my goodness, when I speak to people who have that, all the refunds, the different sizes, it's heavy to ship, right? Electrolytes are super light, super easy to ship globally, internationally. Plus, it's a product I naturally use myself, so I can also become an ambassador because I would only want to sell something that I'm really interested in and use myself, right? Not just any kind of random product where I see potential. That could be a lot of products, to be honest, but I want to be excited about it. And it should also be a little bit outside the finance space because that's my, sort of bread and butter. So it's good to have a little bit something different channel of distribution. So not just digital, but physical, but also not only in the finance industry. Because let's be honest, right? If there's a recession upon us, a lot of people might lose their interest about finance or whatever. So I want to also hedge the industry. So health is something that is generally regarded as, evergreen because people, want to look after themselves, want to live longer. Longevity is a big topic. So yeah, that's kind of the idea to come up with my own electrolyte product. Now, obviously, I did a lot of research about it, the leading brands and so forth. So there's a lot of things going into this, manufacturing and so forth. But I think things are shaping up slowly. Now, at first, I also thought of having like a wellness store, right? With all different sort of health supplements and products. Maybe, as I said, things I use myself, like magnesium, vitamin D, nicely packaged and so forth. But then honestly, I realized it's like competing with too many things. And I'd rather be, the leader in one space. because obviously magnesium is its own world for itself, right? There's so many different ingredients that go into this and so forth. So I really want to double down just on the electrolytes. For example, Element, they actually only have electrolytes as well, and they're around 100 million in revenue, which is just mind-boggling, right? So if I just get a fraction of that, I'll be very happy with that, obviously. Right, so when I thought about the name, I really scratched my head what I want and so forth, and a lot of the names, the good names that I liked were already taken, or the domain was taken and so forth. So yeah, a lot of back and forth, but finally now I have two things that I quite like. So I really want to pick your brain on it. I'm going to show you the names and some kind of visualization. I was thinking about whether I should do it already or not because it's probably too early. But then again, I'm all about transparency. As I said, I want to share this journey with you guys. And also, as I mentioned, I would really appreciate your feedback on that. And do let me know in the comments or on Instagram or join the Smart Money Club, write me a message there, whatever. I'm really happy with anything. Write me an email, whatever works for you. But yeah, basically, you see over here the product offering, what it is. And I have two names. So one is Salt Fuel. The other one is Salt Theory. I kind of like both of them. I start off with Salt Theory. It kind of has a nice ring to it. It's a bit unusual, but you kind of know salt, obviously, from electrolytes. Essentially, electrolytes are salts, right? Because we do need salts. And I think I want to build it all around salt, the importance of it for your body, to stay hydrated and so forth. And the other one is Salt Fuel, because it kind of looks, really seamless. Both are 4 letters. It looks very sleek, very nice. And generally, I want the branding and the overall brand and product to be a bit more premium, right? Because most, electrolytes I see, they're quite entry market and they all look pretty much the same, really playful, and they don't really appeal to me. So I think this could be appealing to more, everyday users, wellness people, women, men alike. And I don't know, what do you think about it? But I kind of like this fruit, so you can really see quickly what the flavor is all about. It says it over here. Obviously, I might add still a couple of more descriptions on the backside. It will say all the ingredients and so forth. But for me, when I saw that, I think it looks really sleek, very nice, very elegant. But definitely, I would appreciate your feedback, whether this is something you would consider buying, whether you're taking even electrolytes or not. Maybe I'm just in a bubble where all the people around me do, but you never heard about it or never take it. That would be also interesting to hear. But yeah, definitely something like that. And then obviously in the beginning, maybe have 2-3 different flavors. I want to keep it small, right? It's really expensive actually to get started because they have an MOQ, minimum order quantity, from different suppliers. And that can be really, really high. It can be 30,000, 50,000 units for the first order. And some of them, it might charge you 50 cents. So that's still 25K that you have to put just in an inventory. On top of that, you're going to have your ad spend and so forth. So it's not a cheap endeavor to get started. But I think long term, it could really have financial upside if you do it right. But as I said, I'm still in the finding phase. Please let me know your feedback. Also, whether you like tablets, or here where we have sachets, where you basically open one sachet and you pour it into water and then you drink it up. Some even have pills. So I'm thinking to start with these kind of sachets, right? Because they're a bit more premium and nicer to use, I would say, than tablets. Tablets are a bit more cost efficient. So again, there's no right or wrong. Some people have different preferences, but let me know your preference. And then later on, maybe I expand the line to have all different types and more flavors. But I think in the beginning, to start with 3 flavors, that should be enough, so people have a choice, and then just keep it as it is. And then start with the kind of powder that people mix into their water or sports bottle, whatever it is. So I don't know. Let me know your feedback. As I said, I'm really excited about this at the moment. I'm still in the learning phase. And I'm willing also to pivot later on, right? I still need to sleep on it. I was a bit hesitant at first to kind of make this video and talk about it already publicly, because normally I like to deliver first and then talk about it. But, I'm really want to share with you guys transparently my thought process. If it works, I can document the journey if you're interested in that. If it doesn't work, I will also share it, right? Why I didn't do it. Because of course, at the same time, I do have a lot of, thoughts and concerns about this. Looks nice to look at this here. And it's really kind of easy these days to kind of get a name and the logo, right? With all AI and so forth. But actual implementation and then marketing it is really difficult. The space is quite crowded, a lot of competitors. So you have to be very smart and the way you play it and so forth. So I would only really launch it if I'm really sure it can really make me money, because ultimately it's going to take a lot of my time. That's a good thing that I reduce 1 weekly video, so I have a bit more time, but still with Match My Broker, with the family edition coming up. So I'm quite pressed for time. So I really want to be sure if I dedicate my time to the project, it actually works and provides me a financial upside. So definitely more homework to go into this, start reaching out to suppliers, see what is the cost of production and so forth, what could be my profit margin. So there's a lot of things that go into it. As an idea, great. I think, I spoke to my, gym people and so forth. They all said, we take electrolytes and so forth. Great idea. But again, if you really want to roll it out at scale, which you do need, right? Because the product's generally quite cheap. The profit margins are good, but you really need volume. So you want to make sure you have markets, you have the stock, you can roll it out and move the product, right? There's no point for me to sell 100 boxes of that. I really want to have volume with that. So yeah, that's kind of my also hedge, as I said, against the potential risk that AI poses to a lot of digital businesses. Now, of course, AI might also create their own physical products in the future, right? If they're so smart, they could do all the outreach and marketing themselves in the future. But still, I think that's less likely to happen, at least as soon as it will disrupt all digital businesses where you can spin up an app, in your taxi ride home, literally have it working very soon. I think in 1-2 years, even the back end, which right now is a bit of a challenge, I think that will all be very seamless and it's completely commoditized. And I think it's going to put a lot of pressure on digital businesses. So while I still continue that and I'll optimize it and milk it as long as possible, I do want to hedge my risk and kind of diversify a bit of a way like I do with ETFs, I have real estate, and of course also Bitcoin. The same applies to my business side of things. I do want to diversify even if one goes down. With YouTube now, I only do 2 videos. So yes, the income is slightly less, but I can spend more time on the other website, plus in the future of that. So that will then boost the income on that side. So I think it's just a normal balancing act like we do with anything in life, really. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the update. As I said, please do me a big favor. Let me know in the comments, write me DM on any platform or email, doesn't matter. What do you think about it? Does it appeal to you? Which of the names is better? If you have a better suggestion, also let me know. I'm really excited to hear from you. Appreciate you for watching all the way until the end. As always, thanks for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.